Hello and welcome to Tech Comics, my bi-weekly webcast about sequential art, wherein I talk about what it is like to be a creator in its vast field, its influences from and toward pop culture and other forms of art, recent industry news, the different subgenres, tropes, and archetypes present within sequential art, and of course, the process of creating sequential art, among many other related subjects. I'm your host, M.R. Maloney, and be sure to also check out my other webcast, Tea Time and Tension, where I talk about the wide world of literature. There will be some overlap with regard to story creation, but the Tech Comics webcast will also deal with the illustrative aspects as well, while focusing more on sequential art than other forms of literature. Among my many uploads, I'll make resource recommendations, have interviews with creators, and offer tips and tricks along the way. As this is the first episode, let's talk about what sequential art really is. The term itself was coined in 1985 by comics artist Will Eisner in his book Comics and Sequential Art. More on him and artist Scott McCloud and their explanation of the art form in another episode. While some may think that sequential art is merely a fanciful glorification of comic books, it goes much deeper than that, and is perhaps the second oldest form of art, the oldest being verbal storytelling. At the dawn of man, far back in prehistory, humans didn't have literature, and there was no alphabet to put into word balloons, narration boxes, and, well, also no need to worry about paying the bills. However, as verbal communication was primitive, stories could easily be distorted if passed on from one generation to the next, or even if just trying to leave behind a simple message such as, "Don't enter this cave! A dire bear resides within and may eat you." Sequential art has its earliest roots in cave paintings, most depicting hunts or migrations. Later, sequential art would also be used in the first forms of written communication as symbols representing animals, plants, and other things became simplified to characters in the earliest of alphabets. The Egyptians used sequential art alongside hieroglyphics to depict those ancient scenes of mythos and legend that archaeologists would unearth, and the rest is, well, history. As the centuries progressed, artists throughout the ages have used sequential art to depict events in natural progression, and it is only in the 19th century that the sequential art form would become constricted by culture to be called comics, and mocked by adult society instead of what it clearly has always been, the second oldest form of art. Thankfully, now with more mature comics by the aforementioned Will Eisner and many other creators, sequential art is starting to be recognized for its value by society again, slowly but surely. And the prevalence of the internet has made it all that much easier to enjoy, though the stigma is far from gone. Stay tuned for more of Tech Comics, and I'll catch you on the flip side.